From the Northern Television Center at Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, you're watching DeKalb County's only television news source. This is NTC News Tonight.
Fired overnight at a nearby campus bookstore, leaving one man injured. Good evening, I'm Heather Michael. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Jason Frummer. A shooting near the heart of the NIU campus leaves police with more questions than answers. DeKalb police have not released the name of the victim. He was shot last night outside the Village Commons bookstore. We are told that he is not an NIU student. A group of suspects reportedly approached the victim, and one of them shot him in the leg. The victim was taken to the Kishwaukee Community Hospital with no life-threatening injuries. He was released from the hospital early this morning. But at Neptune Hall, eyewitnesses had strong reactions when the victim collapsed outside their windows.
Neptune West, and we just were kind of coming out for cigarettes and heard gunshots, and we thought it was fireworks, and guy comes running up and he falls on the ground. He's like, "Oh, I got shot."
He just fell down on the floor, and I turned around, and my friend asked him if he needed help, and he was like, "Yeah, come over here." And he was telling us he got shot, but we didn't believe it because I was like, "Oh, that's kind of far-fetched." And so he actually pulled up his pants and showed us the bullet hole, and I was like, "Oh."
DeKalb police say one of the suspects is a man in his mid-20s, last seen wearing a blue Chicago Bears hooded sweatshirt.
Police are characterizing the shooting as an isolated incident, but students we talked with don't quite see it that way.
I think it makes us all a little bit nervous because it's so close to where we live, and it's also close to where we get out of school late at night.
I wish that we would have heard about it from NIU first. I think a lot of people heard about it on Facebook or through the Northern Star, and I guess that's an entity of NIU, but I wish there would have been an emergency alert.
I've lived in DeKalb for almost 3 years now, so I'm kind of used to it. So it's become like a way of life almost.
It happens on every major college campus. We're talking about sexual assault. There's been a steady drop here at NIU in the past few years, but several high-profile universities like Marquette and Yale are under investigation for underreporting and violating state laws. NIU police say the university investigates all reports of sexual assault, working with city police. One assault victim tells us she doesn't want to see things end there.
Not exactly 100% sure what happened, but I told the police that I would like to see whatever disciplinary actions the school has done to this person.
Sex offenses at NIU have dropped from 19 in 2007 to 9 in 2009.
The cost of your commute may soon be on the rise again. The DeKalb City Council has approved of a 1.5 cent per gallon increase in gas taxes. The tax will rise from 2 cents per gallon to 3.5 cents per gallon. The city officials expect the tax hike to raise an estimated $300,000 annually. Most of the revenue is expected to come from the DeKalb Oasis and the Hinchy oil stations.
We felt that the police station was necessary. We felt that showing both the residents and visitors to this town that this is going to be a safe and secure town was very much necessary. Also, what many residents and even some students might see in their...
All revenue is going toward paying back the $12 million bond the city needs to pay for the new facility.
A new logo is helping DeKalb residents keep money in their wallets. This logo can be found on the City of DeKalb water tower, and it belongs to the Monsanto Company. The logo is honoring the 100th year anniversary of Monsanto working in DeKalb. Monsanto agrees to pay the city $2,000 per month. Having this advertisement on the water tower is one way the city keeps from raising taxes.
Or for the logo to be placed on the water towers, again, it costs the city nothing, and it generates over $32,000 of revenue that is unrestricted revenue.
The Monsanto Company will continue to pay the city for the next 16 months.
Sycamore's historic train depot could be one step closer to new ownership. The Sycamore City Council has granted preliminary approval to transfer ownership to an outside organization. The DeKalb County Community Foundation is looking for a more visible location to expand its operations. If approved, the foundation plans to renovate the depot's interior to complement recent work on the building's exterior. A public hearing will be held Monday to decide if the foundation's proposal can continue to move forward.
Flu season is right down the road and help is on the way. The DeKalb County Health Department is providing flu shots here on campus in 2 weeks. You might want to mark this down. You can go to the Regency Room at the Home Student Center on Wednesday, October 12th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. No appointment needed. It's free for NIU staff and faculty. Otherwise, the cost is $35. If that's too big a price tag, students can go to the University Health Services for a reduced fee. You'll need your health insurance card or state employee ID card. For more information, call 815-753-9191.
Fall can be a very busy season for most local farmers. In just a matter of weeks, farmers will start harvesting their crops and begin selling some of the produce at local farmers markets.
NTC reporter Gabrielle Wright takes a closer look at these farmers markets and what exactly they mean to local farmers.
Kevin Kucharski is an NIU student and a full-time farmer, part of a growing movement. That movement is called survival. Like most local farmers, Kevin wants young adults to support family-owned farms. The small farm market has shrunk because of corporate buyouts. This makes it difficult for Kevin and his younger brother Justin to keep the family business going.
If it wasn't for the corporate farms, though, we wouldn't have some of this new technology we have with corn. Like we have hybrid corn that actually increases yield. But once again, too, it's just it's hard to watch all these farms go away.
Away means that about 60% of the chicken industry and 90% of the corn in your backyard are no longer owned by families. This trend continues as the number of U.S. farmers under the age of 30 falls below 5%.
I used to be a teacher here in town, and 3 teachers started this winery about 12 years ago.
Here at the DeKalb Farmers Market, farmers like Clem Stiley are telling their stories of how they got into farming to NIU students. To these farmers, it's about more than shucked corn, bright peppers, and honey. It's about recruiting the next generation with homegrown produce.
How many farmers are left in this world? We have to, put things back to the earth, and we have to supply the people. Farms are going to be a thing of the past.
Srail hopes that this season, NIU students will support the future of family-owned farms by filling up the market. In DeKalb, I'm Gabrielle Wright, NTC News.
Remember, we're not PR, though.
Thanks, Gabrielle. And all that rain we've been seeing the past few days certainly can't be hurting this season's crop yield.
That's right. Zach's sunset is here now. And Zach, can we expect some drier conditions for the weekend and maybe even see some sun?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get a break from all that rain we had this week, which is going to be nice. We're going to see a lot of sunshine. So it'll be kind of nice for here in the fall for DeKalb. If we take a look at the highs around the area for Friday, the big story is the wind. We're going to see temperatures in the mid-60s, but I'll have all those details for your weekend forecast. So stay tuned. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
For pregnant women, the threat of this year's flu season is very real. If you're expecting a baby, you're at higher risk of serious flu-related complications. That's why the CDC recommends pregnant women take simple steps to protect themselves and their babies. Cough or sneeze into your sleeve or a tissue. Get both the H1N1 and seasonal flu vaccines. Avoid contact with anyone who is sick, and if you do get sick, stay home and seek treatment immediately. For more information, go to flu.gov.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Earlier this afternoon, pretty miserable out there with all the rain and the wind, but the good news is those showers have continued to push southeast out of our area. We're seeing some sunshine now. Today's high was about 64. The normal for this time of year was about 70 degrees, so we're about 6 below that normal, which isn't too bad, but boy, I would love to live here in 1986 here in DeKalb. I wasn't even born yet, but nevertheless, 86 for the record would be sure to be nice, but we probably won't see those temperatures, unfortunately, until next summer. Taking a look at the current radar here, those showers that we experienced earlier this afternoon have continued to push south-southeast, And as this low continues to circulate, the backside of this storm might bring some showers that'll continue to push into our area tonight. So a possibility for that. Now this is the precipitation model that the National Weather Service runs to about 5 o'clock tonight. And what we're looking at here is a light green area for us. Maybe, like I said, get a possible rain shower. The heaviest rain will be up into the northern part of Wisconsin. The interesting thing here is, though, there's a severe weather threat for eastern Indiana tonight, as those slow-moving showers are going to continue to push east. Formation of a thunderstorm or two might pop up. It might be severe, but the big story here, give Texas a big yeehaw. Look at them. They might get some rain down there tonight into tomorrow. Good for them. They've had a bad summer with all their drought, so always a good thing. But the big news for us here tonight and into tomorrow is the wind gusts. Tonight we'll probably see winds sustaining around 20 to 25 miles per hour. And as you can see in this area, we're in that orange kind of red area. That means we might see 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts tonight. So if you're out and about tonight, be careful of those high wind conditions. Now the good news about these wind gusts tomorrow about 5 p.m. as you can see, we're really going to taper off in the winds, which is good, about 20 miles an hour tomorrow into tomorrow night, maybe even in the 10. But take a look at the lake. The winds are going to be howling over Lake Michigan, so if you're heading out that way for any reason, watch out for those. As I mentioned, tonight, a few showers possible before 7 p.m., mostly cloudy, windy, as I meant, 40-mile-an-hour wind, so as I said, watch out for those, low of about 46. Good news tomorrow, we get some sun around here. It's going to feel nice. Windy, though, however, but not as windy as we'll see tonight. 20 miles an hour, high of about 60, so very comfortable. Into tomorrow night, winds are going to die down considerably, mostly clear, low of 37, getting down to that freezing point of 32 degrees, so unfortunately, winter is on its way. We can't really do much about it. Take a look at the 5-day forecast as I step off screen here. Pretty sunny, which is going to be nice. Saturday, we might dip down into the 50s, which will be a little cold, but nevertheless, it'll be sunny. Sunday, getting a little warmer, 62, and boy, by next week, going to be beautiful. Monday and Tuesday, look at them almost getting back into the 70s. So it looks like these summer-like conditions are going to persist. So get out and enjoy them now, because as we know, fall is very variable in the weather. So get out and enjoy. That's all for the weather. Back to the desk.
Thanks for that, Zach. You've probably heard the uncomfortable references like crippled or disabled. People sometimes use them when they talk about physical or other developmental challenges.
But a group of kids here in DeKalb are showing that those challenges can't keep them from becoming superstars. NTC reporter Jessica Patterson explains.
Crazy with the heat.
The kids of Penguin Project has just taken the stage, and they are performing the Music Man Jr. musical. However, this performance is slightly different from the average show. What makes this play different is the cast. The entire cast is from the Penguin Project program, where kids with a variety of disabilities perform plays like the Music Man Jr.
There's some kids who couldn't even speak and couldn't even be touched.
Kids like Jennifer Budsby. Jennifer is the lead actress of Music Man Jr., and she was born with a chromosome disorder that slightly affects her speech. Yet, she and the rest of the cast have the crowd cheering.
I was hugely proud. I mean, I was getting teary-eyed.
Kids with sight impairments are dancing across the stage, and kids with limited mobility are showing their talent with ease. And this is all made possible by one word: mentors.
One of the best parts of being in a play is with my mentor, James. Ever since James has always got my back.
Penguin Project pairs each member with a disability up with a non-disabled partner. They discreetly help when a line or stage position is forgotten. However, the cast is always encouraged to be as independent and as unique as the plays they perform. And now they are the superstars of DeKalb County. In Sycamore, I'm Jessica Patterson, NTC News Tonight.
Thanks, Jessica. Some of the proceeds made from the musical will be donated to the Best Buddies organization.
Former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich may be stripped of his law license.
And 2 children perish in a suburban house fire. These are today's State Lines. The Illinois agency that disciplines attorneys wants the state Supreme Court to suspend ousted Governor Rod Blagojevich's law license. Blagojevich has been an attorney since 1984, but he hasn't practiced since he joined Congress in 1997. He's awaiting sentencing on corruption charges.
2 children have died in a suburban Chicago house fire. Hickory Hills police say the 3- and 4-year-old boys were rescued from a second-floor bedroom, but they later died at an area hospital. Authorities are investigating the cause.
The University of Illinois found more law school grade problems. The school says an investigation into inflated grades discovered inaccurate data posted for the 4 most recent classes. A university spokesman says the erroneous data was passed along to the American Bar Association.
Scientists at Fermilab in Batavia are preparing to power down the Tevatron nuclear collider. The atom smasher that recreates conditions just after the Big Bang has been overtaken by a more powerful collider in Europe. And those are today's state lines.
The Amanda Knox verdict may be right around the corner.
And protests continue in Greece. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch. More anger is brewing in Greece over unpopular deficit-cutting measures by the government there. Protesters again took to the streets of Athens today. Greece has been kept afloat for over a year by a multi-billion-dollar bailout from European Union. In exchange, the Greek government has imposed harsh measures to cut its deficit, including cutting government jobs and pensions.
A judge in Italy says a verdict in the appeals trial of American exchange student Amanda Knox should come Monday. Knox was sentenced to 26 years in prison in the murder of her British roommate. Her defense attorney said in court today that Knox had been the victim of a tragic judicial case, and she's been crucified in the media.
It's being called the most fatal U.S. outbreak of a foodborne illness since 1998. Federal officials are expanding efforts to make sure no one eats more bacteria-tainted cantaloupes. The FDA and state health officials are checking stores, wholesalers, and distributors to remove recalled cantaloupes from store shelves. So far, 13 people have died, and more than 70 have become ill from consuming the tainted fruit.
A new study from the Archives of Internal Medicine says doctors in the U.S. feel they're giving their patients too much medical care. 42% reported they don't have enough time to spend with their patients, and they're concerned about being sued. And that's today's World Watch.
It was a wild night of baseball last night.
It definitely was. There was a lot of playoff caliber baseball, and unfortunately the Cubs and White Sox seasons came to an end last night. In the Cubs, we had last night's game. They also lost, as well as the White Sox. So the Cubs and the White Sox will be home again this October, watching the playoffs. The Cubs finished the 2011 season just like they started it, with another loss to a bad team, 9-2. Cubs fans will be expecting big changes during this offseason, starting with a new general manager. And for the White Sox, it was another disappointing year for a team that many picked to win the division. They also finished the season with a loss to Toronto, 3-2. And now the search on is for a manager. Ozzy's gone. The baseball regular season wrapped up last night with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox tied for the AL wild card, and it definitely would be a wild finish for both teams. We head to Baltimore with the Red Sox and Orioles tied up, and a big homer here for from Dustin Pedroia. And as a rain delay gets ready to set in, the game comes back from the rain delay, and a big double all the way out to the right field wall, and this one sends this game into a tie. And as the next hitter approaches, you have Robert Andino, and he lines that one to left. Carl Crawford slides but cannot make the catch, and the winning run comes across. Boston takes a hard loss, and now all they can do is wait to see what their future holds after the Rays game finishes up. And after being 9 games back at the beginning of September, the Rays had a shot to get in the playoffs. Mark Teixeira started things with a bang, hitting a grand slam a few rows into the stands. The Yanks would add one more run, but it would not hold as right field, sees that ball leave out. Dan Johnson with one swing rocks it in the 9th inning with 2 outs. And as the Rays take a gander at the out-of-town scoreboard, they see Boston lose. What does Evan Longoria do? He slams that sucker to left like a laser beam. That sucker is out, and the Rays take it 8-7 and clinch the wild card. And that's it for what we got on deck. And now we go to what's on deck, the NIU Sports Weekend. The NIU men's football team opens up conference play on the road this weekend. They will travel to Central Michigan this Saturday's contest against the Chippewas. Coming off a loss to Eastern Michigan, the Lady Huskies volleyball team looks to rebound at Toledo. Both teams have a .500 record, but the Lady Huskies look to improve their conference record this Saturday at 4 o'clock. And lastly on deck, women's soccer looks to bounce back home against Akron on Friday. The Huskies have been shut out in their last 2 matches. And lastly, we had the same type of drama in the Edge out in Braves. They took it out, and unfortunately the Braves lost it, and that was in 13 innings.
Well, when we come back, a close call between bike and car. We'll explain.
I'm in the honors program here at NIU. The honors house is a place where honors students can live together. I lived in the honors house as a freshman, so I got to meet people right off the bat. I was with students who were in the same kinds of classes as me. So living in the honors house just meant I had that group to start off with. Living with other honors students made all the difference in my experience, so why go anywhere else?
Northern Illinois University, learning today,
leading tomorrow.
In Southern California love their cars, but nobody had this in mind. This is a surveillance video of an 85-year-old woman plowing through a bicycle shop storefront. You can see how close customers came to being run down. Amazingly, no one was seriously hurt. The woman told investigators she was trying to park when she hit the gas instead of the brake. The store had just been remodeled, not as a drive-through though.
What a close call that was for the shoppers. NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. We want to thank you all for being with us.
Enjoy the rest of your evening and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.